So today I'm going to share with you what the passive video prospecting system is and how agents are using it to add an extra 2 to 3 deals a month without spending a single second prospecting or following up with a single lead. So I've spoken with hundreds of real estate agents, from people like Brent Gove with multiple billions in transactions, all the way to agents that maybe just got licensed or are struggling to pass the 100K a year mark. And I've witnessed one factor that differentiates these multi-millionaires from the average agents, and it's the intent behind their clients. Now, what does this mean, right? Like, what does this all mean? Well, a client that comes to you asking you to sell their property for them is going to be much more invested and have much more intent than somebody that you cold call out of the blue hoping that they want to sell. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, that's pretty obvious and that makes sense, but how can any real estate agent, whether they got licensed yesterday or 30 years ago, start having clients lining up for them without them reaching out to a single person? And if you don't know who I am, my name is Stefan Van de Flaziker, and I'm the co-founder here at Renurture AI, along with my partner Andreas Contreras, and we are the creators of the passive video prospecting infrastructure that allows any agent, yes, even you, to start getting an extra added 2 to 3 deals a month without spending a second on prospecting or following up. Now listen, for context, yes, we run a business, we run a growth partner business where we work with only 4 agents at a given time to install this system to make sure you never have to follow up or prospect ever again in your life. But since we believe in simplicity, okay, I'm going to show you how you can do this, and you could literally do this by yourself on your own. Okay, so after watching the next, we'll say 10 minutes or so, you could implement this system into your business. You don't have to buy anything from anybody, because I believe that I'm here to help. So let's dive into this, the passive video prospecting system, right? There's 2 parts to this. We're going to talk about how to set it up. We're going to talk about how it works. So how to set it up. The first thing you need to do is, well, actually, let's talk about what it is, because then you'll know what you need to set up. So let's talk about how this works, right? Like, what even is this thing? So the first thing that you need to do in order to get the passive video prospecting system working is you need to get attention, right? You need to get attention. You need to get people knowing about you. You need to get your name out there. Now, whether you want to do this through billboards or you want to do this with the new way, which is putting billboards in front of people's windshield on selected cars, aka advertising, right? So you can pick and choose who you want to do and put it right where they already are, or you want to do organic, is totally up to you. But the point is, you need to get attention. You need to get people knowing about you. Now, obviously, the best form of attention is leverage attention, and so that is why I'm a big believer in running some sort of social media campaign in some way, shape, or form. Now, next thing you need to do is you need to get info, right? You need to get the info of these people so you can start to, well, nurture them, right? And start to prospect passively. And so the way we do this is we direct attention to a VSL landing page with incentives for them to watch and to even join the thing that you are offering, right? Depending on what you offer, it will depend on the incentive that you want to give, but you want to direct this attention to a VSL landing page. A VSL is a video sales letter, which is basically a video of you talking about yourself, kind of sharing a bit about you, because in real estate, you know, we need people to know, like, and trust us. And so if they've never seen your face or heard your voice, how can we expect somebody to want to work with you? Well, we can't. So that's why we make a video, because that's the closest we can get to in person, and that way we can prospect passively at any time. Like, you could even be sitting on a beach and people will be watching your videos at 2 a.m. You'll be making money, right? Now, here's where it gets a little exciting, okay? So once people have gone to this part of the funnel, and I'm going to explain how this works in a funnel afterwards, we want to pre-nurture them and qualify them with incentives, right? Like, this is the same thing that we just talked about with the VSL. We're going to pre-nurture everybody that hops on this VSL with the VSL, and we will do that by the things we say inside of this video, which, well, you can make a template for that yourself, but it's basically you showcasing who you are. You want to just, I mean, this sounds kind of stupid, but talk about you, right? Like, when a person picks their agent, they want to make sure that they're picking the agent best for them, and so they want to make sure that they like you, and so, you know, come across as a charismatic, lovely person. Now, here's what happens, is 1 or 2 things will happen after they land on this landing page, on the VSL, I should say. Either they book or they don't book. Now, if they book, okay, so if they book an appointment, well, there's going to be a few qualifying questions to make sure we're talking with qualified prospects, but after already claiming a lead magnet and then going to your VSL, watching the VSL, and booking an appointment, they're pretty qualified with pretty high intent at this point. And then what we'll do is we'll send them an indoctrination sequence, which basically provides value and shares a bit more about you, So they really know who you are before you ever even have to talk to them, right? This is where the passive prospecting comes in. You don't have to do anything, and these people will be passively prospected and nurtured and qualified for you. Now, let's say if they didn't book, which most people won't. Most people won't book right away, right? The same way that when you think about buying a new car for the first time, you probably don't go to the first dealership and buy a car right away. You got to think about it, especially when it comes to buying or selling a home. One of the biggest financial investments that somebody could make in their entire life. It's probably not a one-click decision. And so here's where the nurture comes in, right? Like the name of the game in real estate is nurture. The person who can nurture the best and have the most conversations and have the most people know, like, and trust them will make the most money. I mean, look at Ryan Serhant. He's got like 2 million Instagram followers. Everybody knows, likes, and trusts him, and he makes a ton of money, right? And so that's where we got to nurture. Now, here's the thing. Here's one of the biggest mistakes that agents do is they nurture, and their nurture is just follow up. It's just follow up. Hey, do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? Hey. It's never giving value. And so one of the biggest things you can do in nurturing is give value, is help the person out, right? And nurture them with videos, make content, make trainings, sharing how a seller or a buyer can save or make an extra 10, 20K on their next thing. Talk about the first time home buyers program. Talk about different incentives in the place where you are. Obviously, in different states and different provinces, there's different incentives for buying or selling, or different things you can do, tactics you can use. Make a video on that. Educate people. Give value. Inform them. Start to help people out. Right? Give more. Right? One of the biggest things in life is like the more you give, the more you get. It's the rule of reciprocity. So give. Nurture by giving value. And what happens when we give value? Well, they start to know us. They start to like us, and they start to trust us. Because when somebody helps you before they've even asked for a sale, you start to trust them more. And so this is where the concept of giving comes in. We really want to give them a bunch of value. And so here is where you can have an ISA team call them, right? Give them value emails, make trainings, make content, have some text touch points, so some casual text touch points. Maybe even ask them, hey, did you get to watch the training? Or hey, happy Thanksgiving, right? It was just Thanksgiving. Talk about, have normal conversations with these people, because at the end of the day, they're humans, and so are you. So have normal human-to-human conversations. Send trainings, consume content, invite them to a community where you own the attention, invite them to maybe watch your YouTube channel or your Instagram shorts where you post content and give value. Invite them to just start to get nurtured by you in ways where it benefits them, right? Where it incentivizes them to do it. Now, on the other side of this is, we've actually built out a 10-year passive personalized touchpoint system. And so if you have some sort of automations in your CRM, definitely use that to stay in touch with these people, not just for the next 1 month, 2 months, but have it automated for the next couple of years. So even if a lead comes into your database, in 5 years, you still have an automated touchpoint with them, right? And this is where the money gets made, is when you start talking to people year on year. Now, they may not be looking to buy or sell now, but within the next 10 years, they or somebody they know will probably want to buy or sell. And if you've given enough value and you've helped them out enough, they'll probably come to you. So there's 2 things you gotta do. Is 1, you gotta give them the value, and 2, you gotta stay in touch with them. And that's where you use automation so you don't forget. Because one of the biggest things when I talk to so many realtors is they forget. I get so consumed in the day-to-day, I forget to follow up. I forget to talk to old people. I forget to follow up with my clients or my old leads. And it's like, I know, because you're busy. I get it. So build out automations that do this for you. Now, let's go look at the sales funnel real quick, okay? I hope this made sense. If this does make sense, great. If it doesn't make sense, comment down below what part doesn't make sense, and I'll reply to every single person and try and give some value and kind of share what a bit more in detail how this works. That way you can actually apply this yourself, right? But let's look at the 4 stages of a sales funnel. Number 1, awareness, right? Get attention, awareness. You need to get people aware of you. Right? If you're a realtor that's under a rock that nobody knows about, how are you going to get deals? You might only get deals from referrals, right? From your SOIs, which is like, that's fine, but if you want to start adding an extra couple of deals a month and really scale, you can't control referrals. And so there's no scalability on that. And therefore, we really have no control. And so, that's fine. But in terms of scaling, we want to make sure people are aware of who we are. And so this is when the customer first notices your brand and explores your offerings. And this is the getting attention, right? Making content, running ads, having some social media campaigns, whatever the case may be, start to get people aware. And the best way to do this is just on social media, right? Everybody's on their phones nowadays. Everybody's on their phones. So why not be where the people are, right? That, like, the way you sell is being where everybody wants to be. right? So if I were to have a hot dog stand, if I were to have one competitive advantage, I would place myself outside of a bar where everybody's hungry, because that way I'll make the most sales. So you got to be where the people are. Anyways, number 2, interest, right? This is where the customer compares their top options, though they're not set on a decision just yet. This is where you get their info in exchange for some sort of lead magnet. Perhaps it's a list of homes, right? For people buying, it's a list of homes. For selling it, it could be a ton of other things. It's totally up to you and what you offer. But this is where you start to pique their interest by giving them something that they kind of want. Number 3, decision. The customer is ready to make a purchase, and they may need a small incentive to take action. This is where we redirect them to the VSL landing page, and where they can make a decision, where they either can book or they cannot book, right? And we try to incentivize the book by doing something that will help them out. And so that's number 3, right? Is this VSL landing page? It's some sort of incentive to get them to actually book an appointment. And that's step 3 of the funnel. Number 4, action. The customer actively moves to make a purchase with careful help and guidance, right? And that's where they book a call, and then obviously you chat and discuss moving forward from there. That's totally up to you. But this whole concept of passive video prospecting follows the framework of a 4-stage sales funnel, right? A normal sales funnel that any company would use, and that's making people aware of you, getting them interested, helping them make a decision, and then helping them take action. And so even if somebody doesn't decide right away that they want to work with you, right? For example, number 3, they don't book, we still have an entire nurturing sequence to help them make this decision, to help them make a decision by giving them value, right? And the incentive is we've given them so much value, at some point when we make an offer, they'll be inclined to take us up on it because we've helped them out. Now bear with me, I'm going to grab a drink of water, and everybody should too. You should stay hydrated, and then we'll finish this off. All right, so I guess the last thing I want to go over now is how you can do this, right? Like, this is great, but I would be another one of those scammy kids if I didn't show you how to do it. So I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it. So the first thing you need to do to set this up is you need to have some sort of leveraged compounding way to get attention. For example, if you run ads, for every $1 you put in, you get $5 out. That's leverage and compoundable and scalable. For content, right? It's a little different because it takes a bit more time, and it's definitely a lot more work up front, is putting out a bunch of content, but eventually your content will start to prospect for you at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., because people from all over the world can watch your content at any point in time, and you don't have to do anything else. Right? So that's the point of getting attention, and also you want to get leverage attention. For example, cold calling isn't very leveraged because you only can get one sale for every one call you make. So it's not very leveraged in the sense of you have a 1-to-1 return ratio, right? Whereas for content or ads, it's like you put out one ad, you can reach millions of people. And so you have way more scalability in this model. And so you want to get attention in some way, shape, or form. I know a lot of agents have been either burned by marketing agencies, which is why we are not a marketing agency. Screw those marketing agencies. They suck. I don't know why they're scamming people, but that's a whole separate topic of discussion. But in this case, you want to get attention, and some agents are scared to run ads because they don't know how. And so if you want me to show you how to run ads, book a call, and I'll even do it for free. I just want to help out, right? But in this case, to set it up is you want to get leverage attention in some way, shape, or form, right? The way we love the best is ads, because it's the most scalable. Okay, it's the easiest, it's the most scalable, it's the most control. It's definitely the best. Now for long term, content is also a great play, and I recommend every realtor start making content. I mean, everybody's on their phones, so why shouldn't you be where the people are? Now, that's step number 1, is getting attention, right? Is having a social media presence, right? That's the best way to start getting attention. Number 2 is you need to get their info. So you need to make some sort of lead magnet. You need to make some sort of offer that compels people to go down your funnel. Right? So instead of telling people to just book a call right away, have some sort of lead magnet to where you can get info easily, right? The common one that people do is just a free list of homes, right? Like if you're trying to attract buyers, giving a free list of homes. People love that. If you're working with sellers, maybe saying, hey, a free home evaluation, but instead of saying a free home evaluation, saying this home just sold for X in your neighborhood, see if this affects your home value, right? Give a good offer to people so they're incentivized to actually take you up and and go through your funnel. And so number 2, right, we talked about is getting info. So all you gotta do for this is you gotta make a lead magnet that's good enough to get people that see you to want to learn more about you, essentially. So that's number 2, is get info, which essentially means you gotta make some sort of offer and make some sort of lead magnet to go with that. Now, the next thing you wanna do is you wanna direct them to a VSL landing page. Here's where you gotta build out a VSL. So you gotta record a VSL and then make a landing page. So what this would simply look like, the simplest way you could even do this, I mean, we could even pull up my website, for example, this is super simple landing page, right? VSL is here, right? This is the video kind of explaining who we are and what we do. There's a headline up here to give you an incentive on why you should watch, and then a sub headline, right? That kind of shows why you should watch. Then down below we have a booking form. And so it's super simple, right? If you like us already so much, you can book before even watching the video. But what most people do is they'll watch the video, they'll decide if they like you or not, and based on how good your video was and how much they like you and how good your call to action was, they'll book a call. And then from there is where you keep moving. And so number 3 is directing them to a VSL landing page. So here's an example of what it could look like. Now obviously, granted, it'll be a little different when you're an agent because your landing page will look a little bit separately, and it also, the offer will differentiate depending on what you're actually offering. But the same concept of simply just having a VSL and having a booking page, right? Super simple. Like anybody can do this. It's not very difficult. Anybody can do this. And now the last thing that you really want to do, last 2 things, is have a good indoctrination sequence, right? Make sure for everybody that books actually is incentivized to show up and keeps hearing from you. One of the worst things we could do is have somebody book a call and then just not talk to them until the day of the call. It's like, give them value. Start even nurture. It takes an average of 8 hours of content consumption for somebody to make a sale. And especially so in real estate, when somebody's about to make the biggest financial decision they might make in their entire lives, they need more than just one phone call and one video to make a good decision. And so in this case, we want to make sure that we are sending them value, sending them videos, still nurturing them, even though they've already booked, right? We want to make sure that they really start to know, like, and trust us. That way, when we hop on that call and we discuss further, there's a higher likelihood of us moving forward with them. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, obviously, is the CRM automations, right? Like, obviously, you're going to get a bunch of leads in this case, right? Like, for example, let's say if you get 100 leads and 5 of them book, right? What are you going to do with the other 95? Well, that's where the nurture comes in. That's where I recommend you build out automations inside of your CRM. I don't know what CRM you're currently using. We use GoLevel. I know some agents use KV Core. I know there's a ton of other CRMs out there that are really good. But in your CRM, build out an automation to essentially look something like this. When lead comes in that did not book, put them through this sequence. So I'll repeat that one more time. When a lead comes in from the funnel that did not book, put them through this sequence of text messages, emails, and phone calls. For example, you can call them once to say, hey, did you get the free list of homes? Or did you get your home evaluation? You could text them saying, hey, check your email. I just sent you a video breaking down how you can X offer, right? Here's where you start to make content. And this is the passive video prospecting system, because essentially it prospects for you without you doing anything, without spending you any time, because you use some sort of leverage social media mechanism, and then it nurtures and books appointments for you because this VSL is constantly nurturing. And then on top of that is the people that don't book get put in an entire automated sequence to then book. So you literally never have to do work again except for talk to pre-qualified people who already know, like, and trust you. And so this is the system that we currently build out for agents and implement into their business, so you never have to rent leads again. You get to own your own system. Like, you get to own this, right? I once ran a marketing agency, and man, it just sucked because, like, you can't, like, you're renting leads, right? Whether you buy leads or you have a marketing agency, you're renting leads, you never own it. And so what me and Andreas decided to do is, when we partnered up together, is we wanted to build out a system, we wanted to build out an infrastructure that you get to keep for life. And so what we do is we make sure you never have to rent leads ever again, and you get to own this system that will passively prospect for you for the rest of your life. So if this interests you and you want us to perhaps see if this could work in your business and implement this for you so you can start leveraging your time and scaling to where you know you should be, then give us a ring. You know, you can book down below if you want to do that, or you can go check out our landing page if you want and go watch this video. But this video in and of itself is probably the best breakdown of what we do and how it kind of works. But I hope that this video provided you enough value that you can do it yourself, because my goal is to give you enough value that you can do this yourself, right? But if you think that chatting with us to see if partnering up together would be something you'd want to explore, then I'd be more than happy to have a chat with you and see if we can make something awesome happen. Anyways, once again, my name was Stefan. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope that the last 19 minutes of your time was worth it and that it helps you out in some way, shape, or form. So leave a comment down below if you like this, or if you have any questions. I'll get back to everybody. Other than that, have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.